Pressure reveals what comfort hides. Anyone can appear calm when life is easy. When people praise you, when plans succeed, when the future feels certain, calm comes naturally. But what happens when everything begins to fall apart? When deadlines close in, when people doubt you, when failure seems unavoidable, when fear whispers that you're about to lose everything, this is where most people surrender to panic. Yet the Stoics believed this is precisely where your greatest strength is born. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by war, plague, betrayal, and endless responsibility. Every day carried more pressure than most of us will face in a lifetime. Yet his private journal contained no complaints. Instead, it contained reminders, not reminders to control the world, but reminders to control himself. Because the Stoics understood one timeless truth: pressure doesn't create your character. It reveals it. And if you learn what they practiced over 2,000 years ago, pressure will no longer become your enemy. It will become your greatest teacher. Today, we'll explore how Stoics remain calm when everyone else falls apart, and how you can develop the same unshakable mind. Imagine standing in the middle of a violent storm. The wind screams, the rain blinds your eyes, trees bend under impossible force. Now picture a massive mountain. The storm strikes it with everything it has. Yet the mountain does not chase the wind. It does not argue with the rain. It simply remains. That is the Stoic mind. The first lesson is this: separate what you control from what you don't. Most suffering begins when we fight reality. We worry about opinions we cannot change. We fear outcomes we cannot predict. We replay conversations that already happened. We imagine disasters that may never arrive. Every ounce of energy spent on the uncontrollable becomes fuel for anxiety. Epictetus repeatedly taught that peace begins the moment we stop demanding control over what never belonged to us. Ask yourself during moments of pressure, what is actually mine to control? Your effort, your words, your attitude, your decisions. Nothing more, nothing less. Everything else belongs to fate. Once you truly understand this distinction, an enormous weight disappears from your shoulders. Not because life became easier, but because your mind stopped carrying burdens it was never meant to hold. The second lesson may be even more difficult. Do not trust your first emotion. Pressure has a strange effect on the human mind. It convinces you that every feeling is a fact. Your heart races, so you assume disaster is near. Your stomach tightens, so you believe you're failing. Someone criticizes you, and suddenly your mind creates an entire story about rejection, humiliation, or defeat. The Stoics refused to surrender to that first impression. They understood that emotions arrive automatically, but agreement is always a choice. Epictetus taught that events themselves do not disturb us. It is our judgment about those events that creates suffering. Notice how often your mind speaks in extremes. This is hopeless. I'll never recover. Everything is ruined. But is it really? Or is that simply fear wearing the mask of certainty? Marcus Aurelius often paused before reacting. He observed his emotions the way a traveler watches clouds moving across the sky. He didn't become the storm. He watched the storm. That small pause changes everything. The space between emotion and action is where wisdom lives. Most people react. The Stoic responds. One creates regret. The other creates strength. So the next time pressure rises, resist the urge to answer immediately. Take one slow breath. Observe your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this reality, or is this only my first impression? Often, you'll discover that your greatest enemy wasn't the situation at all. It was the story your mind created about it. The third lesson is one modern society has almost forgotten. Train before the battle begins. People often believe calm appears in the moment they need it most. The Stoics knew the opposite. Calm is not born during crisis. It is built long before crisis arrives. A soldier doesn't learn discipline in the middle of combat. An athlete doesn't develop endurance during the championship. Preparation always comes first. Marcus Aurelius practiced mental discipline every single day, even when nothing dramatic happened. He reflected each morning on the difficulties he might encounter, not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. He expected difficult people, unexpected setbacks, misunderstandings, delays, losses, because when hardship finally arrived, it wasn't a surprise. It was simply another opportunity to practice virtue. Pressure only exposes the habits you've already built. If you've trained your mind to panic every day over small inconveniences, you'll panic during major challenges. But if you've trained yourself to remain steady during life's smallest frustrations, you'll naturally remain steadier when the real storms arrive. Strength is never built all at once. It is built quietly, one calm decision at a time. The fourth lesson may be the hardest to accept. Stop asking why this is happening to you. Instead, ask, what is this trying to teach me? Pressure has a way of exposing every weakness we try to hide. It reveals our impatience, our pride, our fear of failure, our need for certainty. Most people spend all their energy trying to escape discomfort. The Stoics spent their energy learning from it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle standing in your path does not block the way, it becomes the way. Think about that. Without pressure, courage remains only an idea. Without criticism, patience cannot grow. Without failure, resilience stays untested. Without uncertainty, wisdom never matures. Every difficult moment carries a hidden lesson, but only those who remain calm are able to see it. When panic takes over, learning stops. When the mind becomes quiet, understanding begins. The next time life places a heavy burden on your shoulders, resist the urge to complain. Instead, ask yourself, what quality is this situation asking me to develop? Perhaps it is courage, perhaps humility, perhaps discipline, perhaps faith in your own ability to endure. Pressure is not always punishment. Sometimes it is preparation. The strongest trees do not grow in perfect weather. They grow where powerful winds force their roots to reach deeper into the earth. The same is true for your character. The fifth lesson is one of the greatest secrets of Stoicism. Slow down when everyone else speeds up. Pressure creates urgency. Urgency creates mistakes. When fear takes control, people rush. They speak before thinking. They decide before understanding. They react before observing. The Stoics practiced the opposite. When everyone became frantic, they became deliberate. Imagine an experienced captain steering a ship through a violent storm. He does not run wildly across the deck. He does not shout in panic. His movements become slower, more intentional, because he knows that one careless decision can sink the entire ship. Your mind is no different. Under pressure, your greatest advantage is not speed, it is clarity. And clarity comes only to a mind that refuses to be hurried by fear. Before sending that angry message, pause. Before making that life-changing decision, pause. Before assuming the worst, pause. That single moment of stillness may save you from weeks, months, even years of regret. The world rewards quick reactions. Stoicism rewards thoughtful ones. And over a lifetime, thoughtful decisions quietly outperform emotional ones every single time. Pressure will always be part of life. You cannot remove every storm. You cannot silence every critic. You cannot predict every loss. But you can become the kind of person who remains steady through all of them. That is the Stoic ideal. Not a life without difficulty, but a mind that refuses to be conquered by it. Because true strength is not measured by how loud you are when life is easy. It is measured by how calm you remain when everything around you is falling apart. And perhaps that is why Marcus Aurelius left us with a lesson that still echoes across the centuries. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The storm may never stop, but you can become the mountain that stands above it. Quiet, steady, unshaken. So the next time pressure enters your life, don't immediately see it as an enemy. See it as an invitation. An invitation to practice patience when anger feels easier. To choose reason when emotion demands control. To stand firm when others expect you to collapse. Remember, the world does not need more people who can remain calm only when life is comfortable. It needs people who remain composed when everything becomes uncertain. That is what Stoicism teaches. Not perfection, not the absence of fear, but the quiet mastery of yourself. Every difficult conversation, every unexpected setback, every painful disappointment, every moment of uncertainty is another opportunity to ask a simple question. Will I let this moment control me, or will I control my response? Because in the end, your peace is not decided by the pressure around you. It is decided by the discipline within you. Marcus Aurelius was never promised an easy life. Neither are we. But he discovered something far more valuable than comfort. He discovered that the strongest fortress is not built from stone. It is built within the mind. And once that fortress is strong, criticism cannot shake it. Failure cannot destroy it. Success cannot corrupt it. And pressure cannot break it. It can only reveal the strength that was already there. So walk into tomorrow's challenges with a quieter mind. Speak a little slower. React a little less, observe a little more, and remember that every storm eventually passes. The question is not whether life will test you, it will. The question is who you will become because of those tests. Choose wisdom over worry, discipline over panic, character over comfort. Because long after the pressure is gone, your character is what remains. If this message spoke to you, consider subscribing for more timeless lessons from Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Wisdom designed not just to inspire you, but to strengthen you for the challenges of everyday life. Until next time, stay calm, stay disciplined, and remember, the strongest person in the room is often the quietest mind in the storm.